Hey, how's it going out there, Vol Nation? This is Frank Rock. This is the House of Orange Sports Channel coming at you. Lots of speculation going on out there tonight about the status of Nico Iamaleava this Saturday against Georgia. Josh Heupel all week and even Saturday night's been saying, yeah, I believe he'll be ready to go. Shouldn't be any issues with that. But here's the thing. If you've watched Josh Heupel interviews in regards to injuries, he's never totally honest. He's never totally honest. You know, buddy of mine, we were joking about it just now. I said Heupel's a pathological liar. I'm obviously joking on that. He's definitely not up front, and he doesn't have to be about the injuries. But, somebody could be in just a state of mind where they can't even see or can't even come out of the closet because of a concussion. And he would say, oh, yeah, they're probably going to be good to go on Saturday. But, you know, who knows on that? So the Bear, you've seen him on ESPN. He's does a lot of stuff with like the gambling and stuff that he's done. So or like the betting lines, I guess it is. Chris the Bear Falica used to be on Game Day some as well. He says tonight that Nico is not expected to play against Georgia due to concussion. Pete Thamel, ESPN, formerly SI, he says Nico is questionable. He says that it's definitely not for certain. And that's kind of been my thing on it as well, as it has come out pretty much, and I've seen it through VolQuest 24/7 Sports as well. They said Nico he had concussion symptoms Saturday night. So he didn't come out of the tunnel after halftime. It was really surprised to everybody when Gaston Moore come into the game. And then there was video after the game showed him walking with his family. Now, the thing about Nico, he does walk with a towel over his head a lot. He had like a jacket or something over his head. To the naked eye, you would think, yeah, concussion symptoms, but the fact that he does wear the towel over his head, it's really not abnormal for him to do it. But to me, in that state coming out, I think that was a sign of what it was. And, ESPN speculated on the play, which play it was the other night. There was a play where he got hit. People were calling for a roughing the quarterback. I don't know so much that it was, but when he hit, you could see him kind of grimacing, it looked like a bit. So I think that was when it was right before the half, but it is looking, we're going to see. I looked up concussion protocol on here. So, if a student, here's what it says, at least AI says, and there's some stuff on here as well, but if a student athlete shows signs of concussion, they must be removed from practice or the competition immediately. As someone who has coached within the last few years, baseball, football, and golf at the middle and high school levels, we have to go through those concussion trainings a lot in that protocol. You're not just easily coming back out on the field after a concussion. Fortunately, we didn't really have any that had them where I coached, but they have had them before with it as well. There's all kinds of safety measures that are out there to protect the athlete, and the head injuries, the concussion stuff is the big one right now. I mean, with so much study, with so many things going on with it, if an athlete shows symptoms, they have any kind of head stuff, they're probably done with it as well. As far as the evaluation process goes, an athletic trainer, team physician, with experience, they're going to be trained with it. You're not just going to have somebody. These coaches, they're trained in it as well. Make no mistake about it. It's not like the coaches don't know what a concussion or what the symptoms are as well. If they're not, I would be absolutely shocked based on the amount of training we had to do at the high school and middle school levels for this. These coaches know what it is as well. They're not. Josh Heupel knew it on Saturday night what it was. And he doesn't have to be totally honest about it. And there's only so much you can say in regards to an injury as well. You can't just get out here and totally give every detail of the injury. There are bylaws, guidelines for that as to what you can do. Now, as far as how ESPN's getting this information and say your local media is not, I don't know on that. I mean, obviously it's ESPN. They have their sources with it. From what I'd seen a little bit on, I'd seen Austin Price saying we alluded to this on VolQuest, maybe lunch today. I think it remains to be seen whether Nico plays. And I would almost put it towards a good chance he does not play. Now, again, get back to the protocol on it. It says if a concussion is confirmed, student athlete adult must be provided written or oral documentation. It says student athlete can only return to play if a physician determines that the concussion is no longer suspected. It says a physician must clear a student athlete before they can return to play after being diagnosed with a concussion. So they're going to have to, the thing I want to see is how many days. This is, let's see, effective January 24. Let's see. Your updated protocol checklist. All right, so we've got the definition of it here. According to the checklist, I'm not seeing pre-participation. It says documentation each athlete has received. They have to give history of it, symptom evaluation, cognitive assessment, balance evaluation. Then the team physician determines pre-participation clearance and the need for that as well. Now, it was reported today that Nico was doing some stuff in practice, which to me would be a good thing. That is a good sign on it. But it said any student athlete with signs, symptoms, behaviors consistent with concussion must be removed from practice competition. Signs that warrant immediate removal from the field include actual or suspected loss of consciousness, seizure, tonic posturing, poor balance, confusion, behavioral changes, and amnesia. 10 to 15 minutes is kind of the evaluation time on it. May only return to play the same day if concussion no longer suspected. In this day and age, it's going to be odd. It's going to be really few and far between if you're returning on the day that it happens here. Of course, you've got all your 72-hour plan. It looks like there's 72-hour management, symptom evaluation, immediate delayed memory. They're looking at concentration, cervical spine assessment, neurological balance. They screen for fear, anxiety, depression, mental health issues, sleep disturbance. And then it says they do aerobic exercise testing as well. So there is a lot to this. It's not just, I know this for a fact. I know somebody very close to me had a pretty severe concussion a couple years back, and it took a while to get over, even if it's a minor concussion. I'm almost going to be surprised if he plays on Saturday, but we'll see. I definitely would not believe what Josh Heupel says. He can't be totally honest with it. He can't go totally into detail with it for head injuries. Again, there's protocol with that. There is guidelines for it. If I'm Tennessee fans, I would prepare. You're going to see Gaston Moore rolling out on Saturday. And to me, that's not a good – it was going to be hard enough as is to win. To me, it's going to be even harder with Gaston Moore in. But, all we can do at that point, support them, have faith. Let's hope they have a game plan that maximizes Gaston Moore's strengths, maximizes Dylan Sampson, this run game. And what we're going to need, those wide receivers and tight ends to really play their game. We're going to need that defensive line to come back up and be what they've been most of the season. We're going to need those linebackers to play where they need to. And Carson Beck can throw it. Make no mistake about it. He's throwing interceptions. There's a lot on him in that Georgia offense, probably more than it needs to be because the run game's not been helping him out. You got to be ready. You're going to get Georgia's best on Saturday. I really believe it's going to be a tall task for Tennessee, and I know there's some Georgia stuff saying Tennessee's fraud. Bottom line, you got to prove it. Tennessee come in, 7th tonight. They got jumped by Indiana and BYU. The bottom line for Tennessee, you're not getting respect. You're going to have to win Saturday if you want to get in the playoffs. That's the bottom line to me. You lose Saturday, I think you're out. I think the writers are trying to tell you that. They're getting information on that, and these polls are telling you, by the way, Tennessee gets jumped. It's just a fact of the matter. I don't like it as much as any, but Alabama, Ole Miss, even though Ole Miss has a worse loss than Tennessee, Ole Miss has no better of a win than Tennessee. Tennessee beats Alabama, yet these teams are still getting more respect than Tennessee. It is what it is. Bottom line for Tennessee, you got to win on Saturday. That task just looks like it may be getting taller this weekend. It's not for sure. Let's hope for the best on it. But I would not get my hopes up. That's just where I would go with it. And we'll wrap up on that one, guys. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, you share, you subscribe to the channel if you have not and you like the content there as well. Appreciate all your support. You guys have a great rest of your evening. Last but not least, go Vols.